There is no greater pain than losing someone you love. There's no right or wrong way to grieve. Everyone's unique, and as such, everyone will grieve differently. But there are some commonalities in how most people experience grief when they lose a loved one. So today we're going to talk about the 5 stages of grief and what to do when you're stuck in any of them. Stage number 1 is denial. This could manifest as shock, disbelief, or numbness. You might even find yourself feeling detached from others or like you're observing everything from outside of your body. It may feel like you're living in a dream or fog. The first thing you can do for yourself during this stage is to allow yourself to feel. Numb. Grief is overwhelming and it's okay to feel unable to process it all at once. Don't try to rush yourself through this stage or beat yourself up for not feeling anything at all. It's important to remember that everyone grieves differently and in their own time. You may also want to distract yourself during this stage. It's perfectly fine to step away from the overwhelming feelings of grief and do something else for a bit. Watch a movie, take a walk, or listen to music. Just be sure to check in with yourself and make sure you're not avoiding your grief entirely. Allowing yourself to feel the pain of your loss, whatever form that may take, is the best way to move forward and work through your grief. If you can't bring yourself to feel the pain of your loss, then you'll get stuck in this stage. So step away for a little while if you need to, but eventually come back to the pain. Feel it, let yourself cry if you need to, scream into a pillow, write about how you feel, whatever you need to do to acknowledge your loss is the best way to move forward. The second stage of grief is anger. You may feel angry at yourself, at the person who has passed, or at a higher power. This is a normal reaction to an abnormal situation. When we lose someone we love, it's natural to feel angry about the unfairness of it all. The best thing you can do for yourself during this stage is to acknowledge your anger and allow yourself to express it appropriately. This may mean yelling into a pillow, writing in a journal, or speaking to a trusted friend or family member. Whatever you do, make sure that you're not hurting yourself or others in your anger. If you get stuck in this stage, it's often because we're afraid to move on to the next stage, which is bargaining. We may feel guilty for being angry about our loss or for feeling like we're moving on, but it's important to remember that all feelings are valid and that you can't move on until you've dealt with your anger. So take the time you need to feel your feelings, but don't let yourself get stuck there. Anger is a powerful emotion and it can be used as a motivator to make positive changes in your life. Channel your anger into something productive, whether that's exercise, art, or activism. There are people who have lost loved ones and turned that pain into a purpose by starting foundations or charities in their loved ones' names. The key is to find a healthy outlet for your anger so that you can move forward in your grief. Moving on to the third stage, which is bargaining. This is often a stage that people don't like to talk about much, but it's still an important part of the grieving process. You may find yourself bargaining with a higher power, making promises in exchange for your loved one's return. For example, you may say things like, "If only I had said that one last thing to them, or I would have never done that one thing that upset them." It's important to remember that these thoughts are normal and that you're not alone in feeling this way. The best thing you can do for yourself during this stage is to acknowledge your bargaining and then let it go. Make a conscious decision to stop bargaining and instead focus on accepting your loss. This is not easy to do, but it's important to remember that your loved one wouldn't want you to live in a state of constant bargaining and pain. They would want you to be happy and to move on with your life. One way to help you do this is to focus on the good times you shared with your loved one and let go of any anger or resentment you may be feeling. This may be difficult at first, but it will become easier with time. The fourth stage of grief is depression. This is a time of great sadness where you may feel completely empty and hopeless. You may feel like you can't go on without your loved one, but it's important to remember that you are stronger than you think and that you will get through this. The best thing you can do for yourself during this stage is to reach out for support. Talk to friends, family, or a therapist about how you're feeling. Allow yourself to cry and to feel your emotions, moving on to the last stage of grief, which is acceptance. This does not mean that you're happy about your loss, but rather that you've come to terms with it. You may still feel sad, but you're starting to see the possibility of happiness again. To move forward from depression to acceptance, you need to allow yourself to heal. Take the time you need to grieve and don't feel guilty if you're still feeling sad. It's important to remember that there's no right or wrong way to grieve and that everyone's journey is different. But eventually you will come to a place of acceptance. This doesn't mean that you've forgotten about your loved one or that you're not still grieving. It just means that you're ready to move forward in your life. This can be a gradual process, but eventually you'll start to feel like you're making progress. You may start to feel like you're living your life again and that you're able to enjoy things. Just remember that everyone's journey is different and that there's no right or wrong way to grieve. So, to sum everything up, the 5 stages of grief are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And the best thing you can do for yourself during each of those stages is to allow yourself to feel whatever it is that you're feeling. If you find yourself getting stuck in one of these stages, don't worry, it's perfectly normal. And it happens to the best of us. Just allow yourself the time and space you need to work through your grief and then reach out for help if you need it. Grief is a funny thing and it doesn't always go away after a few weeks or months. It can stick around for a long time, and that's okay. Just know that you're not alone and that there are people who care about you and want to help. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if this was helpful. I'll see you soon.